later.
So I thought that Mr. Molinas is in Korea because he is.
He's he is,
He is.
but sometimes just as he would probably, well, he should check the time also.
It is my
How
first
is
time that there is a winter time also. I know that there's only a summertime.
well? Yes, it's summertime, and we call this winter time.
Oh,
It changes. It changes twice a year.
mm,
We just
Oh.
change it back in April or March,
right, right.
and we expect to change it again in December.
Mhm.
Mm,
So around here, I think Chile and Paraguay are the only two countries which maintain this 2 hours
oh,
summer and winter time. There's a big discussion. People say we shouldn't change it, but it is useful for people who go early to school and use public transportation. It's still evening, so it's safer to
Mm.
use that time change. Mr. Molina said he's coming to the meeting in just a few minutes, so if we could wait. How is the weather in Seoul in Korea?
it's getting warmer and warmer.
You're in spring.
The time when you'll be coming to Korea, it will be fantastic, I guess.
Oh, great, great, great.
It's changing from spring to summer,
Okay,
so it will be, I guess, very nice.
okay. But it doesn't get that hot yet.
Not yet. Usually in July and August, it's very hot and humid and rainy.
Yes, yes.
But in May and June, it's okay. It's very nice.
It's okay. I look forward to visiting again
Me too.
Korea.
Too. Mm.
I was there a few months ago.
Oh,
My third visit.
wow.
I was there back in October.
Where did you go?
I went to uh, I went to a town about 70 kilometers away from south of Korea, of Seoul, which is one of the headquarters of Katek.
Ah,
천안.
Gyeonggi province.
Chonan, yes.
Cheonan. Oh, Cheonan.
It's an industrial park, I think there.
Right.
But we stayed in like a business hotel. It was away from. We only had like one 7-Eleven, and then no restaurants, and it was all companies and industries.
Right.
So we had to take a taxi to go to the city, which is a small city but nice.
Mm.
And I went a couple of times to Seoul, but I had almost 2 hours to go back to my hotel. So it was a long drive.
Wow.
And I got the chance to taste a lot of different dishes in Korea. I brought a lot of gochujang.
Oh, isn't it
Yes,
spicy?
I love it. I love it.
Oh,
Oh, that's good.
I eat it with soup and beef, and I
wow.
brought gochujang for my colleagues. I usually tell them that for me, a good souvenir is like to taste the food or how the spice, the people spice up their food. So people tend to think that Korean food is just bulgogi and kimchi,
Mhm.
2 or 3 dishes. But I told them, okay, this is something they put in almost every dish. And I shared it with my colleagues, my family. I still have it. I still have a lot because I brought a lot. I bought it from the supermarket.
Mm.
And I also, they took me to Mom's Touch.
Ah,
Wow.
Delicious, delicious. I miss it. I'm sorry to say it, but I miss it a lot. Also, I love Korean food, but mom's touch is special also.
Wow.
Okay, so yeah, we'll consider that too as our
Yes.
meal, one of the meals.
Okay. Luis. I think Luis has joined us.
Yeah, we should wait for a moment.
Yes.
I didn't know the people from Paraguay also like to taste the spices.
Yeah. Well, we're not like Central American or Mexican. Our spice tolerance is much lighter than Central American or Mexican. Most of the people don't eat that much spice, especially men, but women don't, and our food is not spicy at all.
Oh.
It's very influenced by Europe. We had a lot of immigrations from Europe. Luis, how are you?
Hola.
Hola.
Hola, buen día, buenas tardes, buenas
Hola,
noches.
Luis.
Buenos días.
Luis is our best host in Korea. He's our true ambassador.
Oh.
Oh,
Thank you, General
Luis,
Director.
really, Luis is the person responsible for connecting Paraguay industrial sector with Korea. He has done a great job in the embassy to start the first experiences with KSP and with CATEC. So I have to publicly thank him once again for all his good work.
so he is a key person for this project as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so let me start today's meeting. So welcome everyone for today's meeting for KSP with Paraguay, strengthening the automotive industrial policy. So today we will talk specifically about capacity building workshop, which Korea invites officials from Paraguay to visit Korea. So before we start, since we have a new face, Mr. Luis Molinas, I'd like to I'd like to ask everyone once again introduce yourself shortly. So first of all, let us start with our key person for KSB project, Dr. Anibal.
Thank you, Jiwon and Leticia. Luis, it's a pleasure to see you again. I'm Aníbal Jimenez from Ministry of Industry and Commerce. I'm acting as General Director of Industrial Policy. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Luis Molinas, please.
Yes, good morning, good evening, everybody. I'm Luis Molinas, in charge of the affair in the Embassy of Paraguay in Korea, actually. And I'm very happy to participate with this meeting for this new opportunity to cooperation between MIG and Kia. Thank you.
Thank you. Leticia, please.
Hola, my name is Leticia Han, and I'm a researcher in Hyundai Research Institute, and nice to meet you.
Okay, and myself is Jiwon. I am a senior researcher at Hyundai Research Institute. So thank you, everyone. And let me briefly tell you today's meeting agenda. So first of all, we'll start with timeline for the workshop. Secondly, duration of the workshop. And third, description of the plan for capacity building workshop. And lastly, we will talk about also the number of Paraguayan delegates. So now let's start with the timeline for the capacity building workshop. I was told from Cultura headquarters that Cultura Asuncion office talked to MIC about the delay of the schedule. So I heard other ongoing KSP projects workshops will be held from the 3rd week of May to the 1st week of June. So Cultura points out and worries about if there will be some management issues from Cultura headquarters side. So I'd like to cordially ask MIC's availability on the 2nd week or the 3rd week of June for visiting Korea. So I'd like to ask Paraguayan side's opinion.
Thank you, Jiwon. Yesterday, I received a message from Cotra Asuncion which mentioned that the 2 dates available or proposed from KSP for the visit is the week of June 6th or the week of June 13th.
Yes.
I asked the Vice Minister his availability, and he proposed having the visit starting on the week of June 6th.
Okay. So is it okay that I understand that is it almost fixed? The timeline is almost fixed.
Yes, we should work on this schedule.
Okay, thank you so much. So the next agenda is duration of the workshop. MIC might heard from Cultural Association Office that the workshop will be held for 7 days and not 6 nights. But what we sent you lately, the Excel file, it says 12 days and 13 nights are written. So let me tell you the reason why. I and Leticia has been working on designing the workshop, and guess what? There are so many things that KSP team would like to show, experience, and study together with Paraguayan delegates. So of course, we have to discuss this with Cultura for the availability of making the plan longer. And also we should discuss with Cultura about the budget as well. But before I ask Cultura, we would like to hear from you since your voices are most important thing to us. So how do you think about staying a little bit longer in Korea?
Jiwon, I talked about this with Cotra Asuncion. What I suggested was, before I saw the Excel file, it was that the idea was to extend the period, not to shorten.
Right.
So we even suggested that reducing the number of participants and prolonging the stay. So once I got your file, I could see that it has a lot of different topics, very important topics. It has time for discussion. It will be useful to put Paraguayan team and Korean team isolated from daily work to present the results on the first part of the Paraguayan research team, and to discuss and exchange what could be the outcome of the recommendation. So I see that are mostly positive to have our Vice Minister and our key staff isolated away from Paraguay in a different time, so we won't be disturbed. And so I see the richness of this training and seminar is to also provide not only visits and technical visits or experience from Korean side, but as well provide a space of discussion and exchange. So I commented this to the Vice Minister about the 10, 12 days. He initially has approved. He will wait tomorrow for the outcome of this meeting for more details. He said to me, in the worst case, if he has to come back earlier, he should be the only one, and we could stay the proposed time as you mentioned. So I would work on your proposal. I have some comments later that I think some things could be added, or I want to express my opinion. But I think it's a good proposal.
Okay, so before we proceed, you might heard from Cultura that KSP team can invite 8 delegates from Paraguayan officials, but what I wanted to discuss with you today was I'd like to hear your voices if you wish to invite more participants. And is it possible, which means, are there any officials or delegates that wish to visit Korea? Same with the duration of workshop, we have to discuss this with Cultura as well for the availability. but it is how it goes. We would like to hear from you first, since your voices are the most important thing to us. So we will calculate the number of delegates and also the duration of the workshop. Then I will calculate all of the financial mechanism and then report it to Kotra about the availability. So today, this time, I just would like to hear your voices.
Our initial information from Kotra was that the visit was scheduled for, I think it was a maximum of 7 days for a maximum of 6 people.
Yes.
So that was the initial preliminary information that we got from Kotra Asunción. My first opinion was that we had almost 4 days of traveling.
Right.
We had jet lag. Luis was with us last time we visited. The last time we went to Korea, we even arrived on Friday, I think, and had like some free time on the weekend to recover from the jet lag. So I mentioned, Kotra, that we would prefer even reducing the number of participants and extending the period of time in Korea. Reviewing the numbers, we think the Paraguayan delegation would be around 5 people. This is what the Vice Minister mentioned to me this morning. So we would wait for your feedback on the maximum number, but 5 people, I think, is the amount of staff that we would like to them, and which are participating in the follow-up of this consultation and in this project. So I would suggest that we work around the time and schedule that you have drafted in the Excel, and then see the outcome of the budget and whether this is 5, 6, or 4 people.
Okay. So concerning the richness of programs and also the jet lag and conditions of delegates, let me then calculate the number again. The number, which means the number of delegates and also the all of the budgets, finances. Let me do the calculation again and talk to Kotra once more. And yeah.
Okay, I would move around 5 people.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, 5 people. So I'm not sure if I understood correctly. Is it if it's possible to the 5 people to 10 people, if it's possible, is it okay for your side?
In the case you have,
not shortening the duration of the workshop.
oh, you say maintaining the total period.
Yes.
Go up to 10 people.
Right. We do not want to trade the numbers to
Okay, I would agree that if we could keep the time or the schedule and play around with the budget and see the outcome of increasing the number of people, this would be more positive for us as well. We could even think of inviting private sector, you know, but I wouldn't want to. This discussion is we have only had it with the Vice Minister until we have the complete information from your side. So we don't want to create any expectation even from the mixed staff. So he mentioned to me, please go ahead with the schedule, the content, the dates, and we have a limited a baseline of people who will participate. But in the case you have availability for more, we could look for other participants. It is a good opportunity. I would say it's once great opportunity to. I was looking at the proposal of the schedule and it's very complete. So I would wait for your feedback on whether it's possible to increase the number of participants.
I fully understood. Okay. Let me talk to Kotra as soon as possible and come back to you. Today's last agenda, the description of the plan. Let me share Excel file. Wait, please. Okay, so you see the Excel file, everyone, right? So I guess all of us have looked at this file, and basically it is categorized as seminars as gray blocks, tour / cultural experiences of Korea as yellow blocks, like this, and lectures as green blocks. And lastly, field trips as blue blocks. KSP team has designed this workshop for Paraguayan delegates, not only to study the automotive industry, and also we'd like to experience on your first hand. So please feel free to comment if you have questions or any additional inquiries that you wish to experience and learn more. So at this point, I guess Mr. Luis from the Embassy of Paraguay in Korea, your opinion is also very important for us.
Okay, I will check and I let you know if I have any comment.
G1, can I make some comments?
Sure.
I was looking at the content of the visit. I have two comments. One is that just today I took notice of the importance of Hyundai Research Institute. Speaking with Kotra, they explained to me, as you remember, we have the seminar on the May 17th.
Yes.
We spoke yesterday with delegation from Brazil, Argentina, and Uruguay, inviting them for this seminar. And when you say Hyundai Research Institute, in most of our minds, we relate it to Hyundai car vehicles.
Yes.
So the people got the impression that this is a seminar from Hyundai manufacturing company for vehicles. Korea, Hyundai wants to show us their technology and their products. But Kotra made a very good explanation that HRI is the top level economic advisor in Korea for government and for private sector. So it goes beyond automobile. It works on human resources, economic analysis. So I would not like to leave the visit not having a deep knowledge and even establish like a long-term relationship, MIC, HRI. In our last visit last year, Luis has done a great job advising us who to team up with, how Korean style of building relationship. So I would like to take this opportunity to get to know a little bit more about other activities that HRI develops and not leave the visit with only thinking that this is just automobile area. That's one comment. Another is that I think MIC is involved in electromobility promotion, not only manufacturing automobiles or assembling automobiles, auto parts. We also wish to understand the complete institution, organizations, and services we need to think of when we think of developing our automobile sector. I see that you have included some laboratories or testing facilities, some research institutions. But I would leave open if you think that we should include others services. For example, when we visited last year, I was informed by one of the companies that the electrical or the EVs in Korea do not only sell a product, but they sell a service behind. There's a back office in each vehicle which provides to the auto parts manufacturers how the batteries are performing, when will it have a new service, how are the guarantees in the vehicle. So there's a lot of going on stuff in based on internet or it depends a lot on the internet connection. Luis was he got lost when we went to, remember Luis, to a lunch where the signal of internet went down and he could not use the GPS. So he mentioned to me, this is so important that the internet has a good quality service, because a lot of services rely on this type of connection. So Korea has built this infrastructure linked to the internet that I like to maybe be included in a lecture or a visit, how strong is the need to connect this, not only think of the vehicles as a product. That's a second comment. And a third one that I would also suggest is that if we could visit some experience on public transportation of EVs, bus terminal, charging station because we are also interested on promoting public transportation based on EVs. And we will connect this experience also with the Ministry of Public Works. And we are expecting to receive some electrical buses next year from Korea. So we're still discussing how we're discussing small topics on who will manage these buses, but we're not even thinking on we have to build and assure the charging station, is how different it is from a traditional bus terminal. So I would like the Vice Minister especially to see the other components in the public transportation based on EVs. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your opinion, really. Okay, so I understand that the government of Paraguay is really trying, challenging, and being interested in promoting the EV industry. So what we are going to do is that we will modify the design of the plan more to focus and for you to understand completely on EVs as well. And as you mentioned, we will also add some plans and programs more for experiencing of EV public transportations, such as EV stations and EV vehicles as well. So thank you for your comments, really. So
one last comment, Jiwon.
yes.
And I think the HRI team already has some idea, because you Leticia and has mentioned before in the internal workshop that you had at the beginning of the project on the idea for Paraguay's future in the automobile sector, you had discussions on different options within your own team. So I believe that you already have an idea on what Paraguay future industry could in the first stage look to develop, and based on the information that you already received from Mr. Pastore from his draft document, you could include example of small business companies, auto part companies. You could point out these type of companies Paraguay should aim at attracting in the first stage. So that would be very practical. As we will have a final seminar in which it will include the outcome of this project, so we can have relate to what type of industry we could think of promoting investment in Paraguay for the automobile sector. This include EV and traditional vehicles. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, I guess we need a little bit time, like one day, to modify the program. Then let us share you once again this Excel file as well. I had one question. I know the list of delegates from Paraguay is not fixed yet, but I was wondering how many engineers will be or can be included. The reason I'm asking this is, for example, when we visit, for example, Ulsan Green Car Technology Center, this center is focused on specifically in EVs as well. For example, when we do the auto parts collision experiment, and also here, for example, field trip 3 EV auto parts tear down practice. So I would like to figure out which angle or which aspects we should more focus on to be more, so to speak, to be more efficient for knowledge transfer. So what do you think? How many engineers can be or will be included?
So far in our list, we have one true engineer. The vice minister is an engineer, but ingeniero agrónomo, no sé cómo se dice, agro engineer. So
okay, I understand.
But we have one engineer who would participate. The others are economists mostly. Remember that for us as MIC, this is a very one chance to have a clear idea, especially on government's role. This is what we should. I appreciate all the details on testing and visits or field trips, but what we should, what is not, what we cannot delegate to private sector or to others is to the policy making role of MIC. Yes. We have to make sure that we do understand the steps that Korea has taken in the last 20-30 years to reach where it has been. So I would ask you to spend as much time sharing that part. I've read many books, but it's different having from firsthand experience on the incentives, regulations, protection, tariff, free trade agreements, because this will be closed door sharing on Paraguay, how it can take Korean experience and implement truly policy to develop this sector. Remember that this is the main purpose of this project and our visit. We would like to sit down with you as much as possible and have this exchange of know-how, lectures with your senior consultants and have questions on how you you resolve some issues in the beginning, how you resolve the issues of testing and certification, how you access different markets with its regulation, how you became leader in US market and also in Europe. You know, those are governmental strategies. You know, we this is our main interest. So and also the schedule is very clean. I don't wish you to redo it. It's quite good what you have done. So my suggestion were some topics that we could include if possible, but if not, I think you have you got the idea on what's the purpose of the visit.
Okay, thank you. I fully now understand. What I'm going to do is that I'm not going to modify the whole program, but now I understand that we should not only focus on only the technical angle, but we'll more focus on like policy making roles, incentives, regulations, future agreements. Because our topic of this KSP with Paraguay project is strengthening the automotive industrial policy. So I understand, and when we go to field trip and other lectures, I and Leticia will try to more modify a little bit, more to focus on this political, industrial policy details. Okay, thank you for your opinions, and I'd like to give mic to the floor as well. If Leticia or Mr. Luis, if you have any opinions or questions, comments, please feel free to talk.
I have just one quick question. So is Paraguay Embassy in Korea also participate in our program, or is there anything you can add up to our program? Or
If it's dependent about MIC, if that possibly is okay for the follow-up in from Seoul, and also if any case you need some help or some comment from our side in the embassy, but we are open. It's dependent about MIC. We follow the advice of MIC, no problem. And even for you also, if you have any doubt, feel free to contact us in the embassy for any comment or any exchange of point of view about the project. Okay.
Thank you so much. Mainly, we would be really honored to invite the Embassy of Paraguay in Korea, Mr. Luis Molinas. I would like to cordially ask you, I'd like to invite you to participate in interim seminar on this day, because every participants will be gathered in this seminar as well. And of course, you are really welcome to participate all of the other programs as well, really. Do not worry about other things, but please enjoy our workshop. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, really, it's honor for us. So I'm done with today's agenda, I guess. Yes.
May I ask, I have some comments or questions.
Sure, please.
I would leave as a homework for HRI to outside this visit, analyze how MIC and HRI could establish a long-term relationship. I'm not saying in some cases we have signed a letter of agreement, in others we have signed an MOU, but now that I've got more information on HRI, I think it is so important that MIC could have a partner like HRI with MIC. Luis is our chief advisor on this matter, so I would please ask him to become involved and also invite him to participate with us for the follow-up. But I think besides having this field trip and visit and experience, for MIC would be very grateful to have also bring back this establishment of a relationship with HRI. The Minister of Industry visited last year around November. After Korea, he went to Brazil and he visited one of the plants of Hyundai in Brazil. There, Hyundai Brazil offered to sign an agreement of MOU with Paraguay or with MIC to collaborate on establishing a relationship to assist Paraguay on its auto parts development policy. So I think this is an opportunity that we could explore how to establish a long-term relationship. We have done similar with CATEC, also with Korean Conformity Laboratory KCL, which has outcome great partnership. We are speaking also with Korean Technopark Association, and we strongly appreciate Korean's government and institutions' willingness to collaborate with Paraguay. It is an outstanding collaboration that we have received from the government of Korea, and Luis knows that we are very grateful for all these projects, KSP assistance. So I would ask you to think on the possibility of having, as a result of this visit, also a relationship with HRI. My other comment or question, which I have to do, is regarding the expenses of the traveling. In most cases, the project will cover the airline tickets, the hotel, and the transportation, local transportation, and sometimes they give a per diem, or they cover also the food. But also I have to ask this because the Vice Minister asked me to get more information due to the situation that we have limited budget from MIC side due to COVID restrictions last year and this year, and most of our budget has been allocated to the health sector. So we need to have in time knowledge whether we will need to compromise budget, and this will limit the participation of number of people from Paraguay side also. So this is something I don't ask you to have a response immediately, but just to leave you like a comment, please. Thank you.
Okay, so first agenda, first homework, so to speak. So relations among you and I mean RHRI and MIC, I guess it is a really great idea. So I really agree with you that it will be a great outcome for KSP Paraguay projects that, for example, signing agreements of MOU between HRI and MIC to collaborate, for example, assisting auto part development policy. I guess is really great idea, and I will report it to my superior that if we could do the signing ceremony of the MOU when MIC visit to Korea. So I will prepare on that. And the second issue, expenses. I can give you the direct answers now. So KSP project will cover everything. It means airplane, hotels, meals, transports, and even the test expenses for COVID. So the only thing you have to worry about is that your pocket money, so to speak. So for example, some officials from foreign countries wish to buy something in Korea, like to the shopping for cosmetics or lip oil or other things. So you only thing is that you worry about that thing, and all of the other things, the airplanes, hotels, meals, transport, everything, you do not have to worry about that. So that's my answer.
Thank you very much, Jiwon. Thank you
for
your quick response.
Your visit is very important for us. That's all.
Thank you so much. And regarding the possible MOU, we can share with you the other models that we have signed with 3 or 4 Korean institutions, so you can use them as a model. I can send you, or Luis has copy also of them. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much, really.
Yeah, you already shared CATEC MOU to our side, so we reviewed that already.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. What would be the next steps?
The next step will be, I will come back to you, Mr. Onibol, Dr. Onibol, about the availability of the number of delegates and also the duration of the workshop after I talk to Kotra. Yeah, I'll come back to you as soon as possible. That will be the next step.
And
Okay,
we will
but-
update this Excel file.
Yes.
Okay, but we should fix the departure date around June 6th, 1 or 2 days before, or on the day of June 6th. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I will inform this on the Vice Minister, and we'll wait for your feedback on more information. And I really appreciate this time for you to explain and share during this video conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everyone, for your
Thank
time
you.
and consideration.
Thank you, and hope to see you soon again.
Yes, hope to see you soon again.
Thank you, thank you.
for your
Okay.
time.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Luis, as well.
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye-bye.
Nice day.
Gracias, Luis. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Buen descanso.
Gracias.
Chao.
Gracias.
안녕하세요. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.